Welcome back to the Lunation Cycle, studying the life of Brad Pitt. So we now have arrived at that first quarter opening square when the plant is now starting to turn into a tree, and it's starting to grow very fast in order to be able to support fruit in the future, which will be the reward and harvest at the time of the full moon phase within this cycle, since starting it at the age of 27 in 1991. Now, the first quarter square starts to become very busy, and we can see that in Brad Pitt's life, several things occurred. Number one, in 1998, it coincides precisely with when he met his first wife, Jennifer Aniston, in which he married in the year 2000. And he also really established himself as an A-list actor through the film in 1999, Fight Club. He had his biggest commercial successes as well in Ocean's 11 and Spy Game. Now, as he starts to approach the next phase, things get quite interesting. He's approaching the gibbous phase in the beginning of 2002 at the age of 38. And this is the last phase before the full moon phase, when he will start to harvest the ripe fruit on his tree. And so what happens oftentimes in the gibbous phase is that the person either stays on the path in which they are going because everything is working out perfectly, or they start to make adjustments and they start to make necessary changes in their life to guarantee that their hard work and the fruits of their labor will produce a ripe harvest and success. Now, in terms of his film career, he continues with commercial successes with his film Troy in 2004 and the film Mr. and Mrs. Smith in 2005. The film was actually filmed in 2004. And what occurs? Number one is that he, in his personal life, he separates from Jennifer Aniston, and during this gibbous phase, he begins his relationship with Angelina Jolie. The timing of this is just absolutely perfect in terms of this lunation cycle. He made the change when he should have made the change. And let's see what that gave him as his harvest, his reward, his compensation, getting back everything that he's put into his life since the new moon began at the age of 27. His divorce comes through in 2005 from Aniston. The following year, in 2006, he adopts Jolie's adopted children. He also has a daughter with Jolie, born in 2006. He films Babel in 2006, and in 2008 his twins are born, and he launches the film Burn After Reading, and at the end of 2008 into 2009, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button is released. So we can see that during the full moon phase, Brad Pitt was able to start a family, have children, and perhaps that has always been his intention and desire in this new lunation cycle. We wouldn't know that unless we spoke to him, but that's what it appears to be. And we'll see about the success of the film Benjamin Button. And that's where we are right now in the current time at the end of 2008, right at the end of this full moon reward phase where Brad Pitt has picked all the ripe fruit that is on his tree. And just briefly and quickly, just to finish this up, when we look to see the next phase, which is the disseminating phase, we already know that he's working on post-production of a film, Tree of Life, for 2009, and also working on filming Inglourious Bastards, which should be released in 2009. Now, it'll be in this disseminating phase that Pitt will probably realize that he's picked all the ripe fruit on his tree, and that full moon reward cycle is complete, and he'll be looking at new ways in which he can use his skills and his talents that he's developed since the age of 27 to use them in a new way with society. And as he approaches the third quarter phase in 2012, at the end of 2012, he'll also come into a busy time in his life when he'll finally be making a fine product with all the fruit that he harvested during the full moon. So this should be quite a nice time period coming up for him, and a busy time period coming up from him in 2012 to 2017, which could very well be the highlight of his profession as an actor in film. And as well, possibly it might be the time when he decides to finally marry legally with Angelina Jolie, or perhaps some other development will occur within his relationship with her. And as he approaches then the last phase, the balsamic phase, between the age of 53 and approximately 57, 58, he will be ending this cycle of his life and removing what no longer serves him in order to plant anew at the age of 57. So this is an overview of how the lunation cycle works, and it is an extremely precise cycle that works for everybody in their lives. Now, should you be interested in taking a look at your own life, if you're an astrologer, you can bring up the secondary progressed moon with the secondary progressed sun and look at these 8 phases and study them in your life. And if you're not an astrologer and you'd like to have a Cycles of Life consultation to understand these cycles in your life and where you are right now so that you can gain further clarity about your life, then please contact me at my website, and I would be very happy to enlighten you on your life cycles. Thank you so much for listening.